has its medium that is sort of dominant in people's in the popular culture, right? At some point, everyone wants to strum the guitar because we all look, as our parents really, like looked up to the musicians as the kind of coolest people and the people who are sort of setting the trends, right? And at some point, and it's not that long ago, like everyone got a digital video camera and wanted to be a filmmaker, and because that's like at that time the medium that captivated people's imaginations and kind of led the way. And I think that if games are not the leading medium, it's definitely a leading medium of our time. For artists and creators and minorities and other people that don't have all the resources in the world to be able to kind of express themselves in what I think may be the most important medium of our time. I think that's important. And it's not that long ago that only a few geniuses and then the people with the money could do these things. And now it's a lot more people who can do it. And that's, I consider that a major kind of personal victory to have been like a tiny part of enabling that. If you try to use the sort of definition of other art forms on games, you're not going to see the actual art. It's almost like if you approach it with a sort of polarized filter from watching other art forms, you just see black, like there's no art. So you have to kind of go into games on their own terms in some way. In some cases, it's a visual art, fair enough, and there's amazing visual art, both in sort of high art, but also just like really compelling, crazy shit. But I think a lot of the art of playing games is what happens after you played them for 10 hours, and you're getting these strange emotions, and you're getting these attachments, and you experience the world in a different way after playing them. If art is defined by your perspective on the world has changed after you experience it, games are art. That's gotta be how it is, right? More and more of the hits and the awesome games and experience that people create are built by small teams. And even stuff that is now thought of as very sort of big established, like Angry Birds, was a 20-person team. Like almost the indiest of the indie. They had been struggling building games for 10 years. If you're a small team, you can allow yourself to take risks, and because nobody's controlling you, because there's often very little kind of financial input and control at stake, right? A lot of the wildest creativity and the most kind of amazing things are built by small teams. And of course, in mobile in particular, but also on other platforms, gaming is growing at such a pace that even niche things can find a big, happy audience. A lot of learnings you can really only do by seeing your product meet the players. And there's a mysterious thing, metaphysical thing, whereby the moment you hit the release button, the moment you upload your website, the moment you submit to the App Store, is a moment where you learn a lot about your product. Even before you get the feedback. I don't know how this works. It's a very deep human thing. I've checked it with a lot of smart people, and everyone seems to agree that basically the moment your film gets shown is the moment you realize a lot of mistakes you made in your film. and how to learn is just to have many of these moments, right?
I feel the indie scene is where creators can actually really create.